you'll hear us talk a lot about dreams. And while you might have the right ideas, right dreams, the question is, are you going about them the right way? Oftentimes, when we have these dreams, they're independent of our lives. There's something that we desperately want, yet the other desperation comes from things we're trying to get away from. The job maybe that doesn't fulfill us, this need to make an income while doing something we care about. So instead of actually building a plan around it, we run away. We're not running with any proper direction. We're zigzagging, we're learning, we think we're getting there. But what we find is that we're going sideways, backwards, forwards with no direction, no plan. So what is an escape without a plan?
And this is what we're going to be talking about, is what is an escape plan? We're going to delve into some of the aspects of it, why it's so important to have a goal in mind where you're headed, and the clear difference between running away versus running towards. We're all trying to escape to a better reality. Is we live in a current world where perhaps something's not right. Perhaps we're doing work that doesn't fulfill us, and we envision ourselves doing something that does fulfill us, something that is driven by our passion, something that lights us up each day. But where we're currently at, we feel stuck and trapped. And the importance of having an escape plan is we need to have truly a plan that'll get us from where we currently are to where we want to be. Is we're crafting our own reality. We're not escaping. We're not escaping from our reality, from our troubles, but rather we are working to endeavor to a better reality.
Well, and let's not confuse some things, because a lot of us watching this, even me sitting here listening to you say it, I almost want to get defensive because I'm like, look, I've gone to this school, I've done this thing, I read, I do the work. What am I doing wrong to not succeed? But when I sit for a moment, I realize that I've done so many things without properly moving the needle forward to making the things I care about, because I also get trapped in, without that plan, sometimes finding myself captured in trying to make money a different way. I did all the work to mostly get started, only to go some other direction because I didn't stick to or adhere to a proper plan.
Well, and that's part of the value of escape plan is when you understand what it is you're running towards, you understand that there's value in that goal. Because without an escape plan, what you end up doing is what I did, which is I bounced around from idea to idea, looking to find just anything that would scratch my creative itch, that would allow me to earn money and break away from my current job so that I could do something for full-time living. But I was doing things that I wasn't really passionate about. I was grasping for straws. But with a plan, you stay focused. So that way, when that distractions, those shiny pennies come, you stay focused. And that's the name of the battle. So you have to stay focused on the path ahead.
Well, and that's just it, the focus on that path. Because for me, until we started executing our own plan, I started feeling guilty. Like I kept doing all these things, putting all this work into something that felt like it didn't match up, that it wasn't leading to something, only to find that when I trusted in a plan, that all the work I had done was actually being put into use. Because so many ideas that we come up with seem so disconnected, but most of us aren't that diverse. Most of the things that we talk about, while these might seem different to someone who's not in it, are so interconnected. But the plan gives confidence. It gives measurable results, because we can make things, do things, and we can hold each other accountable knowing we have moved things forward. And moving forward, as you said, is the focus. And that's the key with an escape plan, is moving forward. You don't want to escape from whatever captivity you found yourself in, only to find yourself back behind those bars, demoralized by the effort.
And this is part of the analogy you kind of introduced us with. As you look at any horror film, and what do you always see? Is you see the group of people who are just running for their lives, trying to escape the big bad that's out there. And yet, what almost inevitably happens is they get caught, and it's never good. But then, by comparison, when you look at the villain, they've got a single focus. They're going one direction to a singular goal, and they mostly win. It's a movie. Usually, they...
Right.
But the importance of having that focus, and that's what the escape plan is about having that singular goal. So that way you're not going back and forth, running back and forth, is you're marching day in and day out towards a single goal.
Why I've loved that analogy is from two different perspectives. Are you this big bad villain who single-mindedly is moving towards a path,
Right.
achieving your goal and capturing something? Or are we actually looking at this other from the other angle? Are you the one running away? But the only way you're actually going to succeed is if you run with a plan to find your collaborators, to do the things that actually lead to an escape, or to fight against those powers that be that will try to interfere with your successes. Because quite frankly, you're the only one who's really going to fully be able to fight to believe in what you until you prove it.
And that's the question you have to answer for yourself, is what is your goal? What are you truly trying to capture? For me, from the beginning, when I was just kind of zigzagging, going back and forth, I thought, oh, I want to make t-shirts, or I want to make games. I thought that was the goal. And yes and no. The goal for me personally is deeper than that. It's a desire to want to connect, to create experiences, and bring communities together. That's the real goal. And so that gives clarity to then what I then do to get there. Because you can do a whole bunch of different things to get to that goal, but because I have that, I have much more clarity and confidence even in executing the things that I want to do, because I know it's bringing me closer to that mountain, as we talk about.
Right. And whether you look at it as a mountain that you can see in the distance, in some ways, when I hear this, I think of a lighthouse in the dark, that when you lose your way, you find yourself back on the proper path in that plan. But realistically, it's you hit the nail on the head with, it's that you can do so many things and keep moving forward to find who you truly are. For us, we do want to connect and have a community. We're doing these videos because we're the type of people who want to create the things we want to create, but also know that we want to share our notes. We're not motivational speakers, nor will we ever be. Truthfully, even if we do things motivationally, we're trying to share our struggles that we both have been through and continuing to go through on our path to create things that are not YouTube videos or podcasts or any of the things that may come out. Really, most of our days are spent around talking about making board games and other experiences, like things that people can read, because we're creators ourselves. We're not just trying to talk down from on high about creativity. We're fighting desperately ourselves to make things. But at the same time, we found that when we wanted to make things, we just got so caught up in these conversations about how do we get lost? How do we find ourselves not doing the things that we could have maybe already done many times over? And knowing that if we're in this, how many other people would be?
And that's exactly right. Is we do want to show our nose. We are in the trenches fighting the battle. We both have jobs. We both have families. We both have to balance it all while still going after this passion, this dream. And so, why not? Why not? If we're starting this journey, share this with you. You may learn a thing or two. We may learn from you. That's part of the journey, is just creating that type of community, helping each other out, and going towards the goal. But when you look at us doing these videos, this is part of our escape plan. This is literally us in action, trying to escape from our current realities to one that is of our own design, of our own choice, towards something that brings us more fulfillment.
There's a purpose in the plan. The reason why we need this is because, like a good Prison Break movie or things like that, is you need collaborators. While we have each other, we're collaborating with you. We're holding ourselves accountable through your lens, whether it's the one person watching or more. Hi, Mom. Now, my mom doesn't watch. I'm pretty sure she does. And if she does, thank you, Mom. But realistically, it's knowing that for us, we always talked about originally making things and then we would help people.
Yeah.
Because for us, like, as part of our mission and our calling is to want to help. While there are other philanthropic endeavors that we want to immerse ourselves into, but maybe don't have the means to or the energy at this point in terms of what we have resource-wise, the one thing we can do is we have the tools to make the things that we're already making. But in that process, it makes us feel good to put things out in the world, because a board game or a book, for example, takes so long to come out.
Yeah.
That's time we could be building relationships. For us, we're less likely to quit because we're taking advantage of all these crazy things in social media and YouTube, and making sure that part of a plan is when you share the plan, you have to actually do the plan. It's the same thing as like working out, man. It's like, I'm going to lose weight. Well, I mean, you've told people, are you going to do it? Well, I'm going to get up each day before work and I'm going to do this. And you don't say I'm going to lose weight. You say I'm going to do the things to make me lose weight. I'm not going to make a board game. I'm not going to write a book, But if each day I stop and write this many words, do this much of whatever art that I need to do and whatever art. This guy, not me. But realistically, it's part of the sharing of a plan. This is part of our escape plan. Is because we're putting it out there for everyone else that we get so caught up in accountability with, like, are they going to think we're all over the place?
Yeah.
But now they can see. This is like sharing your work in math. While you might be able to do it in your head, and we've done it in our head so much over the years, and in our brief conversations at any point, brief. Anyone who knows me knows brief is not anything that happens when you talk to me.
1 to 2 hour long conversations.
Brief.
Daily.
Brief. But what you see is everyone else can see what we're getting onto. While they might always get the nuts and bolts of what we're building because not everyone's a creative or an artist, even those people in our families can understand that this is work, that it does take time. And instead of us just going, like, how's the board game coming along? Well, we'll let you know in 6 months, a year, because we're balancing everything else out. Is here we can start and we can build and snowball and get more confident in our voice and who we want to be. And the reason I take the time to talk about why we're doing this is because while you may not want to do it exactly the way we're going to do it, it's an example that being involved in a conversation, finding other people who can feed that passion, hold you accountable, is just the beginning and setting forth your escape plan.
So why do you need an escape plan? An escape plan gives you a mission. It helps you start venturing forth to that purpose. So with that, it then gives you clarity, focus. And because you then have a better picture of what is that end destination, you have a better idea of where can I start? What can I do today? In 30 minutes, an hour, whatever time I have this day, what can I do to take one step closer? Because an escape plan gives you that mission, that purpose, that clarity, it then helps you start developing the discipline to show up, to put in the work, because you're not going to outsmart the work. There's no shortcut to this. No matter how much you learn, there's no way that you can just outsmart the work. You've got to put in the time. You've got to put in the effort. It takes time to hone your craft, whatever it is. Whether you are someone who wants to start a YouTube channel, you've got to refine your voice, the processes to record it, your style. You need time in order to build an audience. All these things take time. But when you have that escape plan, that clear destination, clear starting point, you can begin taking one step forward.
Well, and that discipline helps feed situational awareness, because we often talk about falling because everyone is going to fall. There is no one who does not fall along the path of whatever journey they seek. The difference is when you know where that mountain is, where the lighthouse is, whatever you are fixating on towards a direction in your goal, you can know to fall forward. We talk about this in relation to, and anyone who knows Mason knows, not the biggest sports guy, but he brings all the sports analogies in our conversation, which I find really weird. But no, I mean, like, I'm dumbfounded when he brings them up because they come out of left field. But he was talking about the idea of that feeling when you're watching a football game and you watch somebody frustratingly just zigzagging one way or the other, not getting any ground because they see that opening. But as soon as they see that opening, it's closed and they keep fighting instead of just taking what is there. But when you know that the end zone, the goal is forward, even if you zig for a moment, don't fixate on the easy openings that eventually will close, because if everything was so easy, then everyone would have everything, and then nobody would have anything. I mean, anyways, the point being that when you know where you're actually trying to aim, you can turn it upfield. Take the yard. If that's all you get, take a yard. Get up and do it again. Because it's better to take that yard than to zigzag for nothing, or even worse, to lose ground because you tried to move without direction and quite possibly even cut corners that lead you to a bigger stumble the wrong way.
Well, to continue with the sports analogies is,
I'm sorry.
Ready?
I'm not, but let's go.
So you have 4 downs to make a first yard. And so
this is why 4 downs to make a
first down.
First, yeah.
And Sum's philosophy is 3 yards and a dust of cloud.
A cloud.
Cloud of dust. Did I start this over?
No.
Because you were the one who did this?
No. I think we should keep rolling. Because, look, you know what? I think we should keep this in. And I think we're going to try to do better about sometimes keeping the candid stuff in, because we've even tried to be too buttoned up. This is a messy process. And sometimes you share things and it sticks with somebody. He gets the point. the saying was 3 yards in a cloud of dust, meaning that if it takes 10 yards and if you have 4 downs, 3 yards each time, even if as long as you don't give up and punt, we'll get you a first down. Very famous, very cliche from many. I think it was Bear Bryant who coined it originally. But the point being is moving forward to get to those incremental successes. Incremental successes is 4 downs, first down. Well, that first down, each first down adds up to eventually a touchdown. And a touchdown's not even the end of the game. Then you got to keep playing. And that's this creative process, a journey, entrepreneurial endeavors. I mean, honestly, we make it about creative journeys because that's what we're in. But this speaks to most any goal you would have, is to stay the course, take the yardage that is there, and score it when you can. But just keep doing it, and eventually you find yourself on top more often than not.
Like I say, and this has been my mantra since we started this thing, is keep building, be patient. It's going to take time. It's going to take work. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck.
It's really hard.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an incredible journey. You're going to wish you didn't do it. You're going to wish you could have more time to do it. It's full of contradictions, but it's brought so much joy, I think, just even in our own pursuit as we ventured on our own escape plan. And it's a battle worth fighting for.
And let's be real. I mean, we're not going to teach you how to be more patient. This whole process has not made me any more patient. Actually, each time we keep building forward, I'm more and more in a battle against patience. We're not here to teach you to be a different person. I don't think we should. I think you should be who you are. I think you should find the tools and steps. The steps don't change who you are. They just put whatever you are trying to do into motion in the right direction. So being patient is something you have to tell yourself so that you can be patient more the next day and the next day, because I don't wake up going, gosh, I was patient yesterday, I should be patient today. No, realistically, I get up going, so is our board game done yet?
Do we have 1 million followers?
I mean, where are all our followers at?
Yeah.
Is there anyone other than like the few followers that we have right now who know we exist? Yeah? No? Okay, let's keep going.
Yep.
Because eventually we'll have 3 people who care. And then 6, and I think that's it. We'll probably stop there.
6 is enough.
I mean, 1's enough. So if it's just you out there, you know who you are. We appreciate you. You're part of our plan. No, and I think while we're being cheeky, it's that having a plan gives you room to play like this, because we're going to do the work. We're going to enjoy these moments. We're also going to stop trying to be so perfect, because we never were.
No.
But we definitely were striving to the point where we were driving ourselves crazy. I mean, really crazy. Mostly him. But in the end, we've been doing this thing for a little bit now. We've been talking about it in our own worlds forever. And we felt now that we have a few things out, mostly our training wheel type things where we were happy to share our messy mistakes as we learned and are still learning. It's that I think for me, it's opening things up to feel more like a dialogue. Yeah, there are going to be times where we might talk about how to do something. We might be more objective oriented, crazy hands and everything. Maybe even some infographics. Which I'm sure some people will love. Other people are like, what's an infographic? But I think we even were losing ourselves along the way, not because we were losing our path towards what we want to do, but we want to help, but also not sound like we actually are something more than we're not. We have career experience. We know some of the things we know, the things we don't, and sometimes the things we know might not apply to you. But if they do, we're glad to help. We'd love to have conversations about it. I mean, don't call me or anything. That's weird. I don't know you. And if I do, text first. People don't call without texting first. But comment below, reach out, ask questions. You know what? We're actually looking for questions to answer, because most of the time we're answering the questions we had. And maybe, just maybe, we know an answer or have an answer to one you have that we're not thinking about. It gives us direction, because this is some of our own guidance and therapy and keeping us on task, it is so incredibly important for us to feel that we're making an impact for everyone else, because it's easier to do it for other people than ourselves. I mean, if that was the case, we'd have, again, been done a long time ago. We're just learning that now after all this time. I mean, in full disclosure, without going into a crazy story, I've been talking about doing creative projects very seriously with you since 2013. So early 2013,
Mm-hmm.
so almost 7 years. So for people who timestamp, this is October 2019. So if we get like 6 to 7 viewers in the next like 2 to 3 years, this is the time. Okay? Finger guns. Maybe they'll be back in by the time this video gets watched. All right. Getting back on task. Mason.
So, why do you need an escape plan? It gives you purpose. It gives you focus. It gives you clarity of what you need to do right now, and it can give you the courage and the framework to begin taking those steps one by one towards your goal. So, that's the question for you: is what is your escape plan? What is the goal you're going after? Put in the comments below. What's your number one struggle you're dealing with to begin even venturing on this escape plan? Put it down below. Ask your questions. If this has been helpful, be sure to like, subscribe. We definitely would appreciate the support and anything we can do to support you. We are excited and willing and able.
Because when you have an escape plan, you actually have something to go to. And just to add on, because I like to have the last word, it is true, unfortunately. Learning that about myself for the first time, times 1,000-ish times. If you don't have a plan, but you know you need one, comment also.
Yep.
I would love some of that, because I think that's the other thing, is how many of us are struggling to find.
Yeah.
We know we need one. We know we need that escape, but we don't even know what we're escaping to. So maybe we're not even, some of you have gotten that far, and well, I mean, good for you, I guess. I'm really happy for you. Again, finger guns. Yeah, see, I was waiting for that. Not for you. This is mostly so we weren't even going to post these. We're just hoping I can make him laugh on
Oh my
camera,
goodness.
so that people think I can make a few jokes, even though I'm not funny. But we're here to work with that. We're here to work through that with you. We're working through our own things, and we definitely feel that doing that might give us an opportunity to learn from you, and we'd appreciate the help getting towards our goals as well.
So as you're sharing your thoughts, your ideas, your concerns, your problems, you know what? Maybe we don't have an answer, but it takes a village to raise a children. Okay, let me start over.
It takes a village to raise the children.
Children.
That's not going out. I do the editing of these things, and I'm kind of like tired of us feeling like we can't mess up. And while there's sometimes it makes sense if we mess up to hide it, no. It takes a village to raise the children, and I agree, because we are children. We are child. You were saying though?
Well, it takes a village to raise.
It
takes a village to raise a child.
Mm-hmm.
So too does it take a village to raise a creative idea from its infancy to its fully mature state. And so while, maybe we won't have the answer, but a community will always have an answer. And that's what we're trying to foster, is a community here that we can support each other as we each take our steps along our escape plan.
All right, come be collaborators with us. Find help that you might need, but know that you can take strength in knowing that you have the ability to help others as well. We just have to bring it all together. And I think that's the point of this thing, is we never wanted to chase a dream where it was just me, just you, or just us. This is about building community, family, and a culture that actually helps one another. And maybe that's a lofty goal, but it's ours, and you can't have it. No, you can, and we hope you will.
So welcome to BigBad's escape plan.
Right. Oh, and in case you don't understand, company is BigBad. That's us. This is our escape plan. Thanks for joining. Cheesy exit.